Alhamdulillah, this week we completed class number 34, I believe, of the 38-week course called Stories of the Stars, which is a narration of the history of the prophets mentioned in the Quran. I have 3 students in that class who are 5-year-olds, and these girls have a history. They have a history of having fallen in love with my audiobook, uh, The Fall of the Tyrant. They were captivated by it, and they listened to it again and again and again and again and again and again and again, to the point where when they got together for play dates, they were conferencing on Musa alayhi salam. And one of the mothers reported to me that she would walk down the corridor and hear her daughter's voice and wonder what that was, and stop by her bedroom and discover that she was reciting sentences from the audio. This is all about the power of imagination and of oral language, which we have uh, begun to lose, actually. And it's about the power of storytelling as well. It's about the potential for this material from the Quran to become the central narrative of our living. As in the past, all over the planet, the the oral literature of every culture was a part and pattern of the people who lived in the culture. In fact, the narrations got passed down not because they were written down. They went for thousands of years without being written down. They were written inside the hearts and the memories of people. And then they were collected and written down. Now, the Quran is a separate issue. The Quran is a gift from Allah, mighty and majestic. It came to us by sound. It came to us from the voice of Jibril, which came to us from the voice of Muhammad, may Allah bless him and give him peace. And the material was also in the first, you know, 60 years of its existence. It was not written down. It wasn't carried because it had been written down and stored somewhere. It was carried because it had been carried inside of human beings, inside their hearts and inside their memories. And it was only later, after the death of Muhammad, may Allah bless him and give him peace, that an effort was made to create a written version. Yes, there were incidences of things being written down on scraps of leaves and scraps of skin and whatever else could be found beforehand. But don't you see, the beginning of it was oral. The beginning of it was memory. The beginning of it was stored in the heart. And this way of approaching it is so fruitful. And this way of approaching it is lost, that's an impoverishment. When the way of approaching it is just what's written down, and okay, we have it, it's on the shelf over there, we don't need to memorize it, that's an impoverishment. So, what I'm trying to show us here is the possibilities of approaching the material as living language, living, and the narrations as living narrations that invite the listener to travel not just to a rational literal linear accounting of this happened and then this happened and this happened. No, the opportunity to travel and feel as though you saw it happening, as though it happened to you, as though you could smell it and taste it and reach out and touch it. Because, as Allah Mighty and Majestic says, these are not just tales of the ancients. He is telling us about things that have actually happened. And when we can't imagine, that's our shortcoming. That's our loss. So I wanted to just tell you about one of these 5-year-old girls in my class. She comes to every single class by and large. When she doesn't come, she's careful about catching up on the recordings, mashallah. She missed class this week. The next day, I got a chat from her mother. She wasn't feeling well, the girl. So she went to sleep, which is unlike her. And when she woke up, the class was over. And she was very disappointed about having missed her class and resolved that she would catch the recording. And her mother went on to say, this is just what we wanted for her. She is listening to everything. She is engaging with the narrations. She is talking to us about them. Alhamdulillah. This is worth our time. It's worth our energy. It's worth for all of us, and not just for the children either, but for all of us. For all, wouldn't you like to feel like you had been able to travel through time and across space and enter the space in which the magicians were contending, and enter the space in which the Bani Israel saw someone bowing down to a statue and wanted Musa alayhi salam to build them one? Would you not like to be there for that? Would you not like to show your gratitude to Allah by taking the time to use the capacities that He's given you to embrace, to fully embrace what's been given? Inshallah, alhamdulillah, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad.